Hi, this week it's National Storytelling Week, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at lots and lots of different stories, and we're going to be celebrating telling stories. So we've got a couple of tasks for you to do today, and I'm a little bit excited about them. And part of National Storytelling Week is about sharing a story with somebody else. So it might be somebody over FaceTime, it might be a grandma or granddad, or it might be a friend, or you might do it somewhere special if you have a special place where you read stories, or you might do it somewhere a little bit different, like under a table or in a tree somewhere on your walk. But what we want to do is celebrate our love for stories, and that might be a traditional tale like Little Red Riding Hood or Three Bears, or it might be a story that you've never heard of before. One of my favourite ones that not many people have heard about is Tiddalik, and he was a frog that drank all the water. So it's about finding out and exploring. Maybe somebody could read you a story as well, and you could ask somebody that you love to share their favourite story with you. So what happens is it normally happens at school or at special places like museums or libraries, but we can't do that this time. So we want to do it in a bit of a different way. Like we said, over FaceTime, or when you're on your walk, or maybe you could even read to your teddies or your siblings, your brothers and sisters. So there's lots of different stories, and not all of them are in books. You might listen to a story. I like listening to a story sometimes when I'm driving home or when I'm a bit tired, or you might read a story in a book, or you might read a story on an iPad. Now we know your reading books at the moment are on iPads and ebooks, so it is a bit different to normal. And telling stories is really fun because not only can you read a story, but you can act it out, and you can do it with puppets, you can do it with lots of different characters. There's loads of ways for you to tell that story. And you could set up whole scenes, you could set up a stage, and you could perform your story with singing and dancing and lots of different characters. And we love telling stories. Last year, we went to go and visit one of the houses on the estate, one of the new houses. Barrett's Home invited us, and a man sang some stories to us. So it's about finding lots of different ways to share those stories. And like I said, maybe you could share a story with your friend or record a video for me and Miss Ransom. Oh, I've gone backwards, there we go. So there's lots of different types of stories. There's traditional tales like fairy tales, and there are other stories as well. And what we're going to be doing is, we're going to play a game, and it's called Name That Story. What I want you to do is, I want everybody to pause, and I want you to go and get a pen and a paper, or a whiteboard and pen, or something, so that you can either draw a quick picture or write a quick sentence about the story that I am going to tell you. And you've either got to draw a picture and you've got to write what the story is called. So are you ready? If you're not ready, just pause me. And when you're ready, start me off. Okay. A biscuit. Ooh, what is this story about? A biscuit runs away and is chased by lots of people and animal. I think I already know this one. If you know it, quick draw a picture of the character, or you might quickly write who the character is and what the story is called. He tries to cross over a river with the help of a sneaky, sneaky fox. If you haven't finished, just pause now. Quickly draw that picture because I'm going to show you. Let's see whether you got it right. It was the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man. Correct. Maybe if you haven't had a chance to write the name of the story, you could do that now. You might even pause me and copy it. Bit of cheekiness. Okay, we're going on to the next one. You might like to start a new page or clean your board quickly. Are you ready? Some hungry goats. Ooh, which story has some goats in it? Want some grass to eat and decide to cross over a little bridge. Something under that bridge as well. Can you draw me a picture really quickly and write the sentence if you know what this story is called? If you haven't done it yet, quick pause me before I show you the answer. Okay, let's have a look. A billy goat. It was the Three Billy Goats Gruff. Well done if you got that one right. Are you ready for the next one? Ooh. If you're not, quick pause me. Okay, we're going to start. A little girl visiting her grandma's. What story is this? Who looks rather different. Her grandma looks rather different. She seems to have furry ears, big eyes, and a long nose. I wonder who it is. If you haven't drawn your picture yet, just pause me. Are you ready? Shall we find out? It was Little Red Riding Hood. Well done if you managed to get one. If you haven't written it down, quick write your sentence. Are you ready for the next bit? We'll do one more, just one more, because I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Okay, pause me if you're not ready. I'm going to start. When some pigs leave home, they decide to build their own house, but a wolf pays them a visit. What story is this one? If you haven't had a chance to quickly draw your picture or write your sentence, do it now. I'm going to show you. Let's see if you got it right. There's a wolf and he's blowing, he's huffing and he's puffing. It was the Three Little Pigs. If you haven't written that, quickly write that down because we're going to go on to our next bit of today's task. Okay, we are going to move on to creating a story and making a story. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using all of these things. These things are called characters. They're the people and the animals in the story that help us to tell us the story. So we've got Cinderella and her prince. We've got Little Red Riding Hood, the Three Bears, Goldilocks, Gingerbread, Rapunzel. Those are some of the people in our stories that help to tell the story. I wonder which one's your favourite story. Maybe you could tell your grown-up. And which part is your favourite? Which part of the story is your favourite bit? My favourite bit, for example, in Cinderella is when she loses her shoe and the prince tries to run after her. So, we're going to do a little bit of a challenge. We are going to make our own stories and they are going to be a little bit silly. So, we're going to start by choosing what setting, what place we want our story to happen. It might be a castle, might be a tower, a little cottage in the woods, the deep dark woods, a bridge, or maybe under the sea. And then we've got to choose a good character, a bad character, and some props to help us. Now, if mummies and daddies want to pause on this bit, you can always roll a dice to see which ones, or you can just choose. Now, I rolled my dice, and the people that are going to be in my story today, there's going to be a princess, she's good. There's going to be an elf, he's good as well. And there's going to be an evil witch. So those are the characters that are going to be in my story. And then we've got a beanstalk and a bar of chocolate. I think somebody might try and climb up the beanstalk, get stuck with the witch, and the elf has got to save the princess. I don't know. Oh, it could be good. And at the top of the beanstalk, the place that my story is actually going to take place is a zoo. So I've mixed up lots of stories. I've got my dice and I've chosen lots and lots of different parts of the stories. And I would like you to make a story yourself. You might use some puppets to help you. You might write a little book if you want to draw some pictures to help tell your story. And maybe that's the story that you share with your friend or your grandparents or somebody that you love. We can't wait to see what you get up to and see those silly stories that happen. Enjoy.
Good morning and happy Thursday. Now this week you have done an amazing job of exploring lots of different measurements. You've looked at length and yesterday we looked at height. Now today we're going to use the things that we've learned this week about length and height and measuring. But we're going to think about putting things in order from short to long or in order from short to tall. We'll have to see. Now, I've got a game on the board, but my first one is asking me which is the tallest. But can you see that they're not starting from the same place? So I'm going to have to measure them to make sure that I'm right. Now, I'm going to use a pencil because this is what I've got. This is what I had on hand, so I'm going to use this to do my measuring today. Now, which is the tallest? Tallest. So I'm measuring their height, aren't I? Not their length, because that would say longest. Tallest. Okay, let's start with this one. So if I put my pencil there, is that right? No, that wouldn't be a very accurate measurement, would it? Got to start the bottom of my pencil at the bottom of the ostrich. So I'm going to line it up. 1, 2.
Try again.
Oh, that one is about 2 pencils tall. Okay, remember that, 2 pencils tall. Let's try this one. 1, 2. Oh, 2. And about half of that pencil it takes to get to the top of his head. So this ostrich is about 2.5 tall. So that one's taller than this ostrich, because that one was 2 and this one was 2.5 tall. Okay. Do you think this one is going to be taller than this one? Let's use my pencil. Make sure to line it up. 1. Oh, 1 and just a little bit. So that one has got the smallest measurement, hasn't it? It's the shortest. Which one was my tallest? The one in the middle. He was about 2.5 pencils tall, wasn't he?
Excellent.
Okay.
Which is the longest?
Which is the longest? I'm going to use something else to measure this time, I think. What could I use? Oh, a glue stick. Okay, which is the longest? So am I measuring how tall it is? No, longest. I'm measuring how long these whales are. I'm going to start with this one because this one looks quite small. I don't think that's the longest. So I'm going to line it up. That one is about 1.5 glue sticks long. Okay, ooh, this one's a bit wonky. I'm still going to start on a straight line because I can see that it goes to about there, look. Okay, 1,
Try again.
2, and that's just in line. So this whale is about 2 glue sticks long. So 1 glue stick long and 2 glue sticks long. Do you think this one's going to be longer or shorter than this whale? Okay, 1, 2, 3, just about lines up. So 1 glue stick long, 2 glue sticks long, and 3 glue sticks long. So which one's the longest? The big one.
Excellent.
We could have guessed that, couldn't we? But I just wanted to check. Okay. Now, you might be able to access this game at home and have a go at playing this by yourself. Now, you might not need to measure. You might just be able to tell. But you could explore with lots of different things you've got at home, measure them. Now, all of these have got 3 things to put in length or height order. Do you think you could challenge yourselves today? You could put 5 things in length or height order. Do you think you could? I'd be very impressed. Be super impressed if you can put 5 things in length order or height order, length or height, and label them with all your measurements. Okay, that sounds like a very big challenge. I hope you have some fun with it, and I can't wait to see how you get on. See you soon. Hi everybody, I'm going to talk to you about some different beliefs today in line with our topic work. So this week it is RE, which is all about different religions and the things that lots of different people believe. So I'm going to introduce you to some different people today and talk to you about some differences in what people believe, what people might do, where they might go to worship if they are religious. Not everybody is, but you might go to church sometimes. You might recognise some of these places. And we're going to talk about the fact that even though lots of people have different beliefs, they might go to different places to talk to their God or to have celebration within their community, that everybody is very special. Okay. So, many people have got different beliefs And lots of people have different gods that they worship. So not everybody believes in God, but lots of people do. And they might believe in different gods. I might believe in a different God to somebody else. Oh, okay. These are all people from different religions. They might wear different clothes and they might pray in different ways or in different places, but everyone is special. So you might know what praying means if you go to church or you go to your own place of worship. You might have done a prayer before. We've done them a couple of times in school as well, haven't we? Where you pray and you speak to God. Okay, now Christians, which I know some of you are, Christians worship in a church. So when Christians want to go and celebrate their God or be part of their religious community with lots of other Christians, they go to church. Now people that follow the Sikh religion, so they believe in a different God to Christians, their place of worship is called a Gurdwara. So it's like a church, but it's a little bit different, and there's lots of different ways of celebrating their religion and worshipping their God. So it's the same as Christians in that they've got a special place to go, but it's quite different, isn't it? Okay, Hindus worship in a mandir. Now this is very different to our church, isn't it? It's got big steps, lots of lovely steeples, and it is very, very pretty inside. So again, it's the same because they have somewhere that they go to worship and to be part of their community, but it looks a little bit different to where the Sikhs worship and where the Christians worship. Okay, now this one, can you see this one's very different? This is an example of a Buddhist temple where people that follow the Buddhist religion might go to celebrate their God and to do their special prayers. Okay, this is called a synagogue. Can you say that? Synagogue. And this is where Jewish people go and do their worship. This is a mosque where people that believe in the Muslim religion, people that are Islamic, will go and do their worship and say their prayers. Okay, so as you've seen, there's lots of similarities because all those different religions have different beliefs. They believe in different gods and they celebrate their God in different ways. But they've all got somewhere special that they go and they're all part of that community. So there's lots of things the same as well. Now, in Hindu homes, lots of families set up a shrine every morning. Do you do that at your house? In a Christian home, some people will say their prayers, so that's how Christians pray, isn't it? We've done that at school a couple of times before they go to bed. So that's a little bit different to Hindus because they might say their prayers in the morning. And Sikh children say their prayers in the morning and the evening. So they're a little bit similar to both of those other religions. Okay, in Buddhist worship, they say in silence. They don't say their prayers out loud, they think them in their heads, and they sit in silence to celebrate their religion. Okay, now Muslims, that was the mosque where the Muslims went to celebrate, isn't it? They normally kneel down and they do their prayers a little bit differently. So they don't put their hands together and pray like Christians do in a church. They kneel down on their prayer mats and they say their prayers in the morning and the evening, a bit like the Sikhs. Okay, in Jewish family homes, they have a special meal every Friday, which is a celebration of their God and to say thank you. Okay, so we've learnt about lots and lots of different types of religions there, and we've practiced and talked about the fact that all of those people believe in different gods and they celebrate in lots of different ways. But we are lovely to everybody, aren't we? At school, we are all friends and we celebrate all those different things that everybody believes. Okay, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about different religions. I'd like you to talk about them with your grown-ups today. Now, yesterday you did some really beautiful pictures of the people that are special to you, and they really made me smile. So keep up the good work, and we'll see you soon. This story is called Colin and Lee, Carrot and Pea. This is Lee. He is a pea. All of his friends are peas, except Colin. Colin isn't a pea. He can't roll like a pea or bounce like a pea. And he isn't very good at playing hide and seek. But Colin makes an excellent tower. You see, he's got Lee on his top of his tower. A fantastic bridge and a great slide. Colin isn't at all like Lee and the other peas, but they are the best of friends. The end.